Hi, welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. So I started the video and then, I don't know, my computer literally just cut out. So I already pulled the initial messages. We have the cherry that came out, and it came out in the reverse. So I took it that way, and we have the elm tree. This is what the cherry looks like upright. And this is what the elm tree looks like upright. So with the overall message of these two cards coming out together, it's about purity of communication. Purity of communication. The cherry and the cherry tree deals with the purity. Now, this is purity on multiple levels. It's purity of communication, but it's also purity of self. With many of you elevating at this time, you're being made aware of the things that you are ingesting as you're elevating in your frequency. Certain things that certain habits of things that you ate, certain things that never used to bother your system before, could now irritate you for whatever reason. The cherry is also one of those plants and the bark that can signal on a spiritual level the signal of death. And this death is like the death and the rebirth sign. Whenever the cherry tree would come up, it was like winter was ending and spring was beginning. So for many of you, your cycle of winter is over and you're coming into the springtime. However, there's some hiccups in the mix, especially with the cherry coming out in reverse. So it's like, be aware of what you're eating, be aware of what you're saying. Be direct, I'm hearing, because purity of communication, because the elm tree deals with the communication. So with the elm tree and the communication, I'm gonna pull the guidebook out for this. The communication is speaking of, it's saying to be clear when you're talking to other people so that they're able to understand exactly what you mean. Dropping hints or expecting others to read between the lines of what you're saying will only lead to confusion and resentment. So just like there's no confusion when the winter is over and you're clearly into spring, you're being encouraged to be clear with your communication. Okay, so let's get a little bit more insight. Yeah, have a laser beam kind of directness when you're communicating. Also get more focused about the things that you're intaking. Give me on this cherry in reverse. Okay. So we have the Empress with the Ten of Swords. The swords are about the thoughts. So many of you who have been thinking about the thoughts that have been coming up about things that have happened. Like, you get clear in your thoughts so that your communication comes out in a very pure way, is what I'm getting with that. So that you feel victorious when you are communicating. Before I go on with that, I also want to say that the things that the elm treat. For some of you, you may have been feeling some stomach irritants, stomach complaints, and or respiratory infections. Using the elm as a tincture, as a tea, could soothe those stomach issues. The elm is also related to the graveyard. So like there's this essence of the underworld here. Some of you have been victorious in your communication with on a spiritual level. Some of you have dealt with some underworld communications. When it comes to the things that you've experienced, Ten of Swords style, it's like you put those things to rest. But as you're coming out of it, don't let it keep playing cycles over in your mind. If you're in your fertility stage, you're coming into the spring, focus on that. What are the things that make you feel like spring? When you're taking care of your health, when you're also speaking of the things that are not healthy for you, that have like, basically I'm hearing setting your boundaries. If something doesn't fit for you, no matter how it's coming through, you speak that that's not how you want it to flow. Now when it comes to the cherry and its healing aspects are used to make like cough medicine. So for some of you who have been having coughs lately, and sometimes whenever the spring comes forward, some people, because the cherry tree blooms very abundantly and it's a very fragrant flower, you may find yourself like coughing more or having allergies. That's for some. For some, using like cherry was used as a cough to calm down coughs. Okay, that's what I was trying to get out. Okay, so those are the healing properties of the cherry, and with it coming out in reverse, it's like some of you, I'm getting like your throat is tight when it comes time for you to speak, and you're being encouraged to just speak with purity, speak with, even for me today, getting the words out. What is going on? I feel like I'm channeling someone's energy. It's like you know what you want to say, but you're not able to say it clearly for whatever reason. But still speaking whatever it is you have to say, even if your voice shakes. So like, if you're feeling that someone doesn't resonate with you because they've had like backstabbing energy, and for many of you this is happening on a telepathic level. You're receiving telepathic transmissions, and for some of you, you're not clear on who these transmissions are coming from. You're being encouraged to get grounded, to get clear so that you can focus, laser beam on these messages that are coming forth. For some of you, it's like telepathy is kind of new for you. And so you're not sure about this new electric power that is within you that you've activated. We also have the divine masculine energy here. So it's like you want to speak abundantly from your soul, but I get like you're not sure. You don't have the focus about how to do this. I don't know where we're going with this message today, but we're going to go with it. Cause and effect is here. So if you're not speaking clearly with purity about what it is that you're wanting, desiring, going to accept, not going to accept. If it's not coming clearly, then that leaves this ambiguousness for others to decide for you. That's the cause. If you're not deciding and speaking clearly, then the effect is that others basically cross your boundaries or decide for you. So in order to have the effect, the desired effect that you want, speak clearly. The cause of speaking clearly will then give you the effect of having exactly, of things going exactly the way, in the direction you want them to go. For some of you, this isn't easy because you haven't been used to setting boundaries. Because you know that you're connected with people on a certain way. Because some of you know that you have telepathic communications. Not everyone has that ability. So you can't expect others to read your mind. Even if you're so empathic, you can feel and know what others are saying, thinking, feeling, even doing. Not everyone has those gifts. So some of you are being encouraged to actually communicate. Like, don't think that they know because you know. That's an actual gift that's given from the divine. That's a part of your luminous life force. Not everybody has that light within them, that luminosity to where they're able to, and for some, they just haven't tapped into it. They're recognizing these gifts within you. But many of you, you've had these gifts, you know you have these gifts, and even though you can just know, not everyone just knows. So by you communicating clearly, it then creates a more harmonious pathway. It opens that portal for the communication to move more smoothly. It's like when there's clear communication, it creates its own pathway. There's an essence of you speaking clearly, allowing the other person to speak clearly, and then this avenue of being able to listen and receive. Not listening just to speak or have a response, but listening to actually receive what is being said, and then creating a timeline, an energy field, a portal where that can actually be, can have life, I just heard, can be awakened, can come together from the two consciousness that are coming together. So it's not just about one person speaking and having their way, or the other person thinking the other person knows what they want. It's about clear communication coming together, actually listening from your heart space, and then using your mind in coherence with that to actually create an awakened awareness. Okay? That's what I'm getting with this. Okay, I want to put this here. And for many of you, in order to get these pure communications to come forth, it is going to take you opening your heart and speaking with vulnerability. For some of you, I'm getting that's not always been an easy task. So tapping into your emotions and actually letting someone not only see, but feel your heart, feel where you're coming from, where your words and your actions are being shown, given, and received. How I'm feeling this is that some of you are you're easy to go at it with your thoughts, so you're very logical. And you do have the connection to your heart, but not always in the essence of sharing it with others. In order to create this portal, this neural pathway where the two of you can communicate, two or the group of you, because this could be even for a group, It's going to take clear communication. But I'm getting this is more of partnerships, because I'm seeing the new beginnings with the portal here is card number 1. And then the innovations and new creation is card number 20. So the partnerships that are coming forward for you, to have them be more victorious, it's going to take not just logic, but it's going to take tapping into the heart. The heart is also a muscle. So the more you exercise tapping into those emotions, the stronger it gets and the easier it gets. Some of you have, what? Atrophy of the heart. Okay, that's a new one. Atrophy of the heart. It's like muscles. When you haven't been walking or you haven't been doing your push-ups, you can't do as many in the beginning when you start working out again. Or if you used to walk or run, if you stop walking long distances or taking hikes or running marathons, then you can go back to it, but sometimes you have to work your way back into it. So this is what I'm also getting with this atrophy of the heart. It's like many of you have to now like work those heart muscles out again. You got to tap into that care and that compassion and actually being vulnerable and showing that to someone else. And so this is going to take, that's a lot. This is going to take tapping into those deeper emotions. And this is worrying a lot of you, but worried is a wasted emotion. For some of you, it's time for you to forgive yourself. And this will make it a lot easier to tap into those deeper emotions. And to set your intentions as you're tapping into these emotions. This is what will help you feel more victorious. Recognizing that you do have these emotions, and when someone is being vulnerable with you, to not judge them, to allow them to feel their emotions. It is energy and motion, right? And they're sharing that energy and motion with you. So when someone is taking a moment to actually share clear communications with you, it's going to take an awakened consciousness to actually not be in judgment of another person. Not so easy for some of us, because I've heard like on TikToks and things like that, how some women see men who cry as weak or simps, I've heard. And so they would judge them. Take it as it resonates. This isn't for everyone. But for some of you, you're going to be coming into these higher elevated connections. And it's going to take an awakened consciousness to not judge another person as they're removing their mask and showing you them authentically. That's for someone. Because as they're showing you who they are, this is a part of their personal power. This is also going to allow you to be able to strengthen the partnership, because they don't have to wear a mask around you. For some of you, you worry about this. Like, am I going to just be able to be myself? Now, it's not just about the crying, it's also about, like, some of you have certain, what? No. Okay, look. Some of us have certain habits. This isn't for everyone. It's for who it's for, right? Certain ways you've used to. Okay, so how I'm seeing this is that some of you, when you're single and you are. And you don't want to feel like you have to put on a mask once you're in a relationship. You want to just be able to be you. Now, of course, that's taking the other person into consideration, because how I'm seeing this is like two people are moving in together. And for some of you, it's like you've been used to having your own space. You spread out how you want. You do the laundry on the days you want. Now, it's not to say that you're a nasty person. You don't have clean habits, but you do things in a matter of when you want to do them. Now it's like there's going to be a schedule to certain things. Now, for some of you, this kind of structure is kind of what you want. This is what you're amped up for. You're ready for it. For some of you, it's going to take some adjusting to how to communicate when you need help with chores, adjusting that you want your partner to work out with you, adjusting to not having, like, little things, not having a television in the bedroom, little things, adjusting to sharing bank accounts, I just heard. For some of you, having a separate and then a joint. All of these things are things that have to be considered when you come into a partnership. It's not always easy. You have to stay vigilant to where there can be hiccups that can create strife within the relationship. We always hear it, like money or finances is always one of the biggest things that split most relationships up. That and infidelity, you know. So basically, being vigilant and being able to get on the same page so that you're not doing things that drain your energy, but actually empower the energy of the relationship, where it actually just has its own kind of a flow. For some of you, I'm hearing this is going to be difficult only because what? Some of y'all just not really gave up on relationships, but you were just like, if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And so in a way, this is a good thing because it allowed you to get into this flow. It's like you stopped seeking it, so now it's like at your doorstep for some of you. Some people said, love don't come knocking at your door. Somebody else said, yes, it did. Take it as it resonates. I don't know who that's for. But it's like, because some of you weren't seeking it, it's now flowing in. And this has actually got some of you kind of worried. Like, I just heard, I don't even know how to manage in a relationship. Like, some of you, I'm getting like, you've been single for so long, it would be quite the adjustment to actually be in a committed partnership. And this is going to take not bringing the things of the past, like where you felt like there were swords in your back from past relationships, not bringing that baggage or the thoughts of those baggage, all of that thoughts, the swords, everything that went wrong, that mental baggage with you. It's going to take you unpacking that stuff before you walk into the door, before you cross the threshold of the doorway of your new place with your new boo, for some of you, because we have new beginnings that are here. And so this is old. This is an excess. The worst has happened with the Ten of Swords here. The worst has happened and it's over. But what also needs to be over is the worrying and bringing that baggage along with you. It's time to focus on what you want, because if you're focusing on everything that went wrong, cause and effect, because you're worried about it, the effect is that you're going to bring more of that in. Your thoughts create. So are they going to be thoughts that are of change and transformation? Thoughts that are of new creations? Or are they going to be the thoughts of worrying about what could go wrong? So you worry about what could go wrong instead of focusing on what could go right. What if he doesn't like that I don't do the laundry and fold it up right away? What if he doesn't like, what if she don't like that what if it actually all worked out? What if they thought it was quirky, your little habits that you had? What if you actually just honor your inner knowing that things could work out instead of worrying? What if you actually forgave yourself and focused on moving in a new direction, away from this Ten of Swords energy, creating more stability? Do you see this red hoodie type that she's wearing? It's not a hoodie, it's a scarf, but that's that root chakra where you're feeling more stable and secure, and it's covering your crown. For some of you, I'm getting these partnerships. You're going to feel covered within this relationship because you're connecting with a divine masculine. Card number 8 here, someone who makes you feel abundant. It's like the things you nitpick at yourself about, this person is going to think they're just the cutest little things. The things you worried about for the men are going to be the things she adores about you. Can you set the intention to honor your inner knowing? The knowing that all things are possible. It's possible to have love and have it actually flourish. This is what's coming in for these new timelines. Those of you who are stepping into new timelines on this new earth energy. For many of you, it's a part of your life's purpose. And it's going to take you visualizing these new relationships, not this Ten of Swords. Taking your mind, your heart, and your thoughts away from this Ten of Swords so that you're able to see more clearly, healthy, happy, more nurtured. Third eye energy here. And it's like it's on a focus, laser beam focus. For some of you, you're going to use all 3 of your eyes. You're going to tap in and visualize with your third eye. I just heard meeting on the astral planes, setting the foundation, and then your 2 eyes, you'll be able to see it every morning when you wake up next to you. The things you set the intention for and that you visualized. And I'm seeing it like a triangle. At the top, you started with the visualization with your third eye, and then it came forward, and then the two eyes, like a pyramid. You visualized it, you set the intentions, and then with your luminous life force, those brilliant beliefs came forward for you. But it's going to take you focusing, visualizing, not worrying, honoring your inner knowing that this is a part of your life's purpose. It's also going to take you having some fun. Playing a little bit, laughing a little bit, enjoying each other's company, not always being so serious. It's like, yeah, there's work to be done, but can we have some fun while we're doing work too? That's for some of you. Finding that flow is going to assist many of you as you're bringing forth these new, higher elevated relationships, partnerships. Staying vigilant too to the things that can come in and want to tear it down. Because the things on the outside, people's opinions, I just heard, don't really matter to the two that to value your own energy, your own inner knowing, more than valuing someone else's insight, guidance. Sometimes people mean well. Sometimes people really do mean well, but their path is not your path. So it's vital that when it comes to your needs, you are trusting your own inner knowing more than any other. Even when the storms are raging all around you, it's good to seek insight from others at times. But then there are times where you're going to need to just sit with yourself and listen to the small, still voice within. Trust your own self-expression more than what someone else may be saying to you. People mean well. It's not that sometimes they have anything against you, but it's like you got to trust your own inner knowing. And trust that you'll be able to express yourself in a way that is healthy for you and for your partner, for those of you who are coming into these connections and having these new beginnings. And this could be new partnerships, but for some of you, this is like renewing the energy within an already standing relationship for some of you. It's like the winter of your relationship has passed and there's now sacred healing happening, where you're able to get over whatever hiccups there were. Finding the things that you both enjoy together is a very good place to start, to set the intentions. Like, it's all good and fine and dandy to have the things you do you're good at separately, but what are the things you both like doing together? I am not, side note, I'm no relationship counselor. I'm giving these messages as I'm channeling them and as they come up. Trust your own inner knowing for what messages resonate with you and what's not for you, okay? Because as I said, for some of you, these are going to be new partnerships you're coming into contact with. And for others of you, you're going to be rekindling the flame I just heard. So take it as it resonates. All in all, it's about trusting your inner knowing. If something doesn't... So like, I'm seeing this picture of like a woman who's, I don't know, taking up golf or skateboarding, skating or something. And you don't really like that, but you do it because your partner does. That's fine and dandy, but it's also okay to communicate that maybe that's not your thing. Can we find something we both enjoy? And this is what's going to allow many of you for your relationships to rise like a phoenix. It's like maybe the two of you need to try something new. If you've never, I don't know, tried rock climbing, maybe try it together. If you've never gone painting, maybe try painting together. Taking a hike, taking a trip, whatever it is that you can find where you're on a common ground and you both can find enjoyment in it. Because what you don't want to do is start to do something to appease someone else and then become resentful because you feel like you always do. I always do what you want to do, but you never, I suggested we go do this and you never want to take me salsa dancing. You never taught me how to samba. Whatever it is. I don't know. Maybe you don't like dancing at all. You feel like you got two left feet, so you'd like to try race car driving. I don't know. Maybe you would like to learn to go fishing. The whole point of that is to find the things that allow you to feel luminous together. And then actually indulge in it on a regular schedule. Like, we schedule time for everything else. You schedule time to take the kids to daycare. You schedule time to go work out with the fellas. You schedule time to go get your nails done, to go get your hair done. We schedule time to go get the oil changed on the car and to get the brakes done. But when's the last time you scheduled just some alone time for you and your baby? Without it having to be some kind of special occasion where you two can expand and grow together. Yeah. Ooh, Valentine's Day came. I took you to dinner. Whoop-de-woo. Oh, it's your birthday, so I cooked you a dinner. Whoop-de-woo. And don't get me twisted. I'm not saying those things are not like important. But when is the last time you just said, baby, I want to spend some time with you, like once a month. We need to just have a me and you day where we go explore something new so we're able to accept each other more and step more into our joy. So that we're creating memories together. Not just with our feet up on the couch. Now, hey, maybe one of those days, because you're always constantly busy with the kids and doing the work and putting the work in, maybe just a Netflix and chill day is all you need to grow and expand and feel joy. Just being in each other's company. But how many of us actually schedule that time? Like, you got time for everything else, and then you'll wait until it's his birthday or her birthday, or you'll wait until it's Christmas, or you'll wait until it's Valentine's. And yes, I know all of these holidays are just made up holidays, but if it ain't for you, it ain't for you. This is not about that right now. Right now, this is about thinking about, even without all of those days, are you making yourself aware of finding just little instances where you're creating joy between you and your partner? And are you actually communicating that? Like, telling them just the little things that they do that you appreciate about them. Because we forget that sometimes. We get so caught up with the schedules, with the, I want to accomplish this, I got this goal, I got this, I got to do this. But have you let them know, baby, I love the way you laugh. I love the way you help me clean the house. I love the way you take care of the kids. I love the way you take care of my car so I don't got to get the oil change and you keep tires on it. Baby, thank you. Oh, yes. Those little things. Sometimes that's how people show their love, you know? I love the way you make sure I got something to eat when I go off to work. I love the way you make dinner. When is the last time you've given those words of appreciation? You see, we journey through this life, and it's easy to get caught up in not tapping into our hearts. And it's even more easy to allow the darkness within our hearts to overtake the light, luminous side of us. Because you start out with one little thing. It starts as one little complaint. I hate the way you always leave your shoes in the doorway. I hate the way you did it. And then one complaint turns into two, turns into you hanging out with the boys a little later and not coming home, turns into you always on the phone with your girls and not really talking to your man, but telling them everything that's going on in your house. Consider the parts of you that may need to drop away more easily so that you can see what is real and be able to accept those parts of you. And for some of us, this may cause an inner dissonance due to trying to push it away, push it down, not actually wanting to accept those parts or even recognize those parts of us. But in order to establish deeper, compassionate, unconditional, loving connections that bring us into wholeness, it's going to take shining the light of your heart and allowing it to illuminate those darker aspects of self. Those moments where you complain about the person instead of actually being constructive in your communication. It's time to accept all of ourselves and allow this sacred healing to happen. But it takes recognizing and accepting that you have these certain little things that you complain about. In order to strengthen the partnerships. Nothing's perfect. No one is perfect. So it's okay to have these communications. But to do it in a constructive way, not in a destructive way. To pull back those layers and look at all of the reality that makes up your relationship. So that you're able to explore all of the cause and effect, all the edges of your existence, and deepen those relationships so that you're able to trust your inner knowing that much more. And then finding out, if necessary, where you can implement healing modalities. And for some, healing may just be communicating with each other. For some, healing may be getting relationship therapy, marital therapy. For some, it just may be taking more time together and tapping into your physical senses of touch, The physical senses is just the tip of the iceberg. But it is time to look between the lines to the limitless discovery of self, because that brings a wholeness to relationships. Finding your own creative way to connect with that person's energy. To work together. Teamwork makes the dream work. Teamwork creates that flow, that joy, the play, the fun, the nurturing. Not in judgment of another, not complaining about another. Not to repress your feelings. If something is bubbling up inside of you, speak on it. But speak on it in a way where it's not tearing a person down. Especially if it's someone you say you care about. Whether this is a relationship as a man and a woman, or whether this is a mother to a daughter, a father to a son, a father to a daughter. Because even the way we speak to our kids now, like, is it a wellness kind of a way? Does it bring joy? Or is it something they're going to have to go and get therapy for later? Because you constantly cuss them out or talk crap to them or told them what they couldn't be. I'm just saying, that's not for everyone. But we've all been out and heard, like, mothers cussing at their daughters, like, I'm your motherfucking mama, you my child. Like, how does that, how does that bring joy? So this isn't in judgment of anyone. If this message isn't for you, it's not for you. But who it's for, it's in the essence of bringing luminous energy, a brilliant laser beam focus to relationships, where we're stepping through portals that are not about illusions and confusion, or that are toxic, but that are more nurturing and caring. Relationships that are ambitious and move expediently, quickly, rapidly towards growth. Walking away from toxicity that creates burdens, that slows down the growth, makes you feel stagnant, but more in a way of seeing the enlightenment, not feeling blindfolded to how these relationships grow. How can we get the laser beam focus and the awareness for the nurturing, for the care? Not feeling blindsided, but investing in a more holistic, healthy, investing and being vigilant about seeing where there are destructive patterns and walking away from those. So that we can have these new beginnings, starting with self. Starting with self so that there's self-love that moves towards deeper, compassionate relationships where there's flow, where there's joy, where there's acceptance, where there is a sacred healing. Okay? So that's been the message for today. And we're going to wrap it up right there. Okay? Again, when it comes to the cherry, the medicines that it's used for those of you who want to look for a tincture or put this in your apothecary, the cherry tree bark is used to make cough medicines, okay? And then the elm, these were our two cards that we started out with. And the elm is used to treat stomach issues and soothe respiratory infections, okay? So thank you for joining me, Tonae Star. Remember to always let your light shine bright. And those were the herbs for wellness today. The cherry and the elm, okay? Bringing forth pureness and communication in the mundane and on the spiritual. Speaking with truth, if you can see that sword there, and clarity. Thank you again for joining me, Tonae Star, here with Tonae Star Enterprises. And remember to always, always, always let your light shine bright. And shoot for the moon, and even if you miss, you are still amongst the stars. Thank you.